Well, I see somebody made it back. Yeah, I kind of sort of like bumped the plug when I was getting my uh, boxes of drills. One of them landed, I guess, landed on the cord, and when I picked it up and moved it, I moved the cord and it unplugged. Uh, I hate when that happens. Y'all, I found some great candy. It is like awesome, awesome candy. If you like sour, it's called Toxic Waste. You can get it in normal, really sour flavor, or you can get it in nuclear fusion, which is even more sour than the original. And it is very, very sour. Like, let's see, this here is. Where did I put my glasses? Hell, I don't know. I lost my glasses. Oh, there they are. Yeah, hi, Hank. Hi, Aria. What are you doing over there? This one here is banana blueberry. That one's banana blueberry. This one is grape strawberry, banana blueberry, pineapple passion fruit, which I found to be the most sour of all of them. Um, Orange apple, another banana blueberry, another pineapple passion fruit, another banana blueberry. Boy, they like them banana blueberries, don't they? Another pineapple passion fruit. And it's just a hard candy, but it's like really sour, like almost to the point of like burns your mouth sour because of the amount of malic acid they put on it. Grape strawberry actually sounds pretty good right about now. I mean, it's just a normal piece of innocent looking hard candy until you put it in your mouth. And then it is ridiculously sour. Warheads ain't got nothing on these things. And then to make it worse, toxic waste, once that outer sour coating is gone, then you get this nice flavorful sweet candy till you get down to the middle. And there's like a pocket of that extra super sour stuff in the middle. Mm. Toxic waste. Yummy stuff. But the same people that make those make some gummy bears. And they also make these things called smog balls, which I don't have them in the house. They're out in the truck. They're like little tiny jawbreakers, but they're not that big. They're not as big as a typical jawbreaker. They're just like little tiny ones. And they're crunchy until you get down to the middle, and then they're chewy in the middle, and they're full of like really sour stuff in the middle. I got a beding. Getting lots of bedings. It's probably because I've got about 20 tabs open up here on my. I had already had somebody ask me how much I'd charge for a friend. Yeah, I'm back, Bremer. I'm back. Uh, Sorry, I was answering a question about my detailing work, how much it costs for a friends and family discount. My typical customer is going to be a wash, clay, and protect is what I call it. I'm going to wash it, do a quick clay job to decontaminate the paint, and then put a protective coating of some sort on that's not like a permanent thing like ceramic that lasts years. It'd be something that, it'll last maybe 6 weeks at the most if properly cared for. And that'll run about 150 normally for most people, but friends and family I do for like 50. I do for 100, I mean. No, Sherry, I didn't get a new job. I don't know if you probably missed the beginning. I'm doing Uber like I used to, but I'm only doing it Thursday, Friday, and Saturday nights. I'm working my regular job Monday to Friday. Um, the problem is there's things I need to get done. Like today was like the first day I really haven't had anything I needed to do on Sunday, but otherwise Sunday's been the only day I've had to get anything done. So I've been getting all that stuff done on Sundays, and it just runs long and I don't get to go live, or I just kind of lose track of time. And so that's what's been happening lately. And because I work Monday to Friday, 9 to 5, well 7 to 5, and 7:30 to 5, somewhere around that. And then when I get off work on Thursday, I go right out and I do Uber until 3 o'clock the next morning. Get up at 5:45, go back to work all day, then drive all night Friday night until like 3, 4 o'clock on Saturday morning, and then maybe get a little bit of sleep Saturday and back up around 10 or so, and back out on the road again until like 4 o'clock Sunday morning. So Sundays are really the only day I have to get my running done, all of my errands and everything else I need to do, and maybe get some of the detail work that needs to be done on my van done. So, but I'm also in the process of uh, getting ready to start a new business, and I was talking to a friend of mine about it, and they're asking about what my friends and family discount be, because I'm about to start going into business with an auto detail shop. The only thing really I've got left to do for the shop is I've got to form my LLC. So I've got to turn in the paperwork for that, and I got to pay $200 to the government for that to get my LLC. And then I've got to get my city business license, which is $100 for the first year, and then every year thereafter, it's a percentage fee of whatever your yearly intake was. So, but your first year is only $100, so that's the minimum. Like if I was to have a business license next year and not do any business, but I wanted to keep my license, when it came time to renew my business license, it would still be $100 because that's the minimum. But your business license actually um, works off of your taxes. So, however much income you claimed on your taxes from the business, that's how much um, a percentage of that is how much your business license is the next year. So I'm just kind of looking into that kind of stuff right now, and I'm working on getting it done. And then I've got to get my liability insurance for the business. So it's going to be a little while before I actually get started with it, but I can still do it on the side, like a little bit of it. I can't do it full scale like I would once I've got the business started. Oh, this is interesting. It's one of those am I the asshole posts. So this one says, "Am I the asshole for no longer walking my friend home to her dorm after she rejected me?" He says, I, 21 male, have been friends with Annie, 21 female, for 3 years now, since the start of college. We usually chill at one of our friends' places every Saturday night with our friend group. After we're done, I walk her to her dorm first before heading back to my dorm. This has been the default, and I never really thought too much of it. A month ago, I asked her out, but she just wanted to remain friends. It did not bother me too much, but I obviously wanted to cut back on our friendship a bit. We were still amicable and part of the same friend group and still joked around with each other. However, I stopped walking her back to her dorm and just walked back to my dorm. The first couple of weeks, she did walk back on her own out to her dorm. However, last week she asked if I could walk her back because she was extremely scared walking alone at midnight, especially when she was drunk. I told her to just get an Uber or ask someone else because I was getting too tired to walk her home to her place and then walk back to mine. The conversation was sort of awkward and we left it at that. Am I the asshole? Um, I think, oh, you're moving across country. Awesome, Sherry. To Oklahoma, where the tornadoes blow. Hey, Arya, come here. Come here, Arya. Where you going? Where you going, Arya? She's gonna go explore my desk. Hey, baby. Hi. Hey, Arya. Hi. I hear you. Okay. And then she's gone. Oh, you're originally from Missouri. Yeah, but they're worse in Oklahoma than they are in Missouri. Well, unless you're down in like Joplin area, but then that's almost Oklahoma anyway. What part of Oklahoma? Because I worked for a company out of Tulsa, Oklahoma before they went out of business. I drove for a trucking company out of Tulsa um, for a year. And so I spent a lot of time there in Tulsa, but also uh, when I drove for CRST, we had a terminal in Oklahoma City that was kind of one of our. It wasn't our main terminal, but it was one of our more main terminals than uh, some of the others we had. Other ones we just had like a little building that if there happened to be other drivers in the area, they were in there, but there was no offices or anything like that in there. But Oklahoma City actually had like offices and stuff like that, and that's actually the terminal that I was based out of was the Oklahoma City base, Oklahoma City terminal. Yeah, I know where that's at. This mic is just in the way. I keep hitting it with everything that I have. Hi, Hank. Yeah, I know where Enola is. Been through there a couple of times. Oh, you know what? Uh, Probably shouldn't even bother pulling this stuff up here because by the time I get ready to get started diamond painting, it'd be time to be ending this live. Um, oh, look at that. They're in the right order already. All right. Let me move all my vape juices out of the way here. And I'll put those right there. Oh, yeah. Okay. I see. There. Oh, Lord. I don't even know where my trays are. If I were a diamond painting tray, where would I be? Oh, that's where I would be, right there. It still has a color in it. So maybe I do know where I left off. And some pocket lint that's been through the washer. Oh, is he moving to a horse farm? Cool. My ex-wife was really into horses. She had them for when she was a kid. She had a horse, and she did she did like I think she got into I think she was barrel racing, and she also did dressage. Or at least she talked about dressage all the time. I don't know. Maybe she didn't do it, but I know she had a horse. I think she was into barrel racing. I know she was into barrel racing. But but then when we moved out to San Diego, we found a place down when I was in the Navy, and we found a place down along the border, south of San Diego, that was like a rental ranch where you could go down and you could rent a horse for like 3 hours, and they had like trails and stuff down there that take you right out to the beach, and you could ride out on the beach right there where the border fence comes up on the mesa and everything. It was really nice. We had a lot of fun doing that, and we got to know the owners of the ranch really well. And they were like, "Hey, you know what? You come out here all the time. You're like like our biggest customer, really." And they said, let's how about next weekend you come out on if you come out on like Friday or whatever, and we'll we'll rent you one for 3 hours. You can rent it for 3 hours, but we'll give you another 3 hours extra, and we'll all go riding together. And so the owner had a beautiful Arabian stallion that lived in his trailer with him. And we rented the horses, and then he had us go over and meet him at his trailer, and he came riding out of the trailer on the horse. And then we rode with them for 5 or 6 hours. We rode up the mesa, right up along the border fence, and then we rode back down the mesa. And then they had this like big open space where we could just run the horses, and we just let them run at like top speed. It's the first time I'd ever actually run a horse. Like we'd always just walked them, I mean, just kind of rode them easily and walking to the beach and around. We'd never really let them run. And man, man, we spurred them horses in, and they took off. That was a lot of fun. Scary too. I mean, the first time you actually run on a horseback, oh my Lord, that's scary. But then once you got used to it, it was so much fun. That's weird. Something, I'm trying to look here, something like either burnt or spilled on my diamond painting. See it right there? It's like there's a spot like right here. You can really see it, and it's up here. Like, actually, it's over here. It's all up under here. It's there. I don't know what it is, but it's like I don't know what that is. I didn't spill nothing on it. And nothing leaked on it. But that looks like a burn mark. mean, it's a stain of some sort, but at least it's like I can still read the things, and it's still sticky there. So whatever it is just on the canvas itself, and that'll get covered up by drills. So okay, that's odd. I don't know what that's from. At least I don't remember spilling anything on it. I wonder if that's from where I was working on my fog machine, and maybe some of that dripped on there. I don't know, but I haven't laid anything hot there. But that's not. It's like an oil stain almost. But I didn't have anything oily. At least not that color oil. Hell, I don't know. Yeah, I actually miss it. I would love to be able to go horseback riding again. I just don't know. There's nowhere around here to do it. I don't know. Maybe there is. Maybe look at that. Now you got me thinking. Hold on. Let me look. Huh. Snyder Stables, located in Northport, just minutes from downtown Tuscaloosa and the University of Alabama campus. They have boarding plans, overnight stays, trail riding, riding ring, and riding lessons. About us. Boarding plans, gallery. I guess they just have trails there. If you're boarding your horse there, you can just go there and ride on their trails, I guess. I don't know. Therapeutic Riding of Tuscaloosa. Westminster Farm has a lesson program. Now that's for people who are getting into like wanting to get into shows and stuff. Blossom Top Farm is a breeder. Gray Rose Farm has a website. Yay, okay. Sorry, we are not accepting any students at this time. We anticipate accepting riding students again in late spring 2024. About us. Small farm established January 21. We're located in northern Tuscaloosa County, 20 minutes from the University of Alabama. Farm focuses on horses, offering riding lessons and limited room for board. The farm also has chickens, with plans to add goats and a garden in the coming spring. I guess they just riding lessons too. But they do have a Facebook and an Instagram. It says, "Oh, I know it's been a bit since this page has been updated. I apologize, as I'm very bad at keeping up with social media. That being said, as of right now, we are taking a hiatus on lessons. When we return, we will have big news to share. Please hang in there with us as we navigate these changes. Once all the dust is settled, we hope to have an exciting new chapter. Until then, here's a picture of our cat telling me I should pay attention to her and not this silly book." Now there's a how to properly wear a riding helmet picture. Picture of a wreath on the farm fence. I've been to that farm. I know where that farm is. Yeah, that's riding lessons for like people that want to get into shows and stuff. Horse boarding stable. Another boarding stable. Woodfield Farms Equestrian LLC horse riding school. Okay. Moe's Carriages and Trail Rides. Horseback riding service in Chilton County. Where is that? Oh, it's north of Montgomery. Okay, south of Birmingham, north of Montgomery. Uh, oh, so they'll take you out. Okay. Horseback trail rides. We have a variety of trails for beginners to advanced riders. Click here for pricing and details. Pricing. All rides are by appointment only. Group rides, $90 per person, 1 hour. Per person per 1 hour, minimum of 5 people. Private rides are $80 per 1 hour for less than 5 people. 2 hour rides available upon request. Please call for pricing. All horseback trail rides are to help make a memorable time with your friends and family and take in the surroundings. All rides are by appointment only and range from sunrise to sunset. We offer a variety of trails around the Hoover and Billingsley area. Each trail is labeled to be either for the beginner or intermediate rider. Upon arriving, we will assess each person's comfort level by giving a mini lesson before each ride. The Jungle Trail. This is our beginner trail, a slow, easygoing ride passing through the bamboo, a nearby train, then a lot of vines, and maybe seeing some wildlife. And the Scenic River Trail, just like it sounds, hearing the waters and following its trails. This land has a lot of hidden trails, great for the intermediate or advanced rider. Cool. Okay, so there is a place to do rides. Are they guided or are they just do you just take the trail on your own? Because the place we used to go to, they would just like they'd put you on a horse and they'd match each person up with a horse. Like if like you were like a total beginner, they had a horse for that. If you were really advanced, they had a horse for that. So it's like they matched you up with the horse that they knew that you'd be able to deal with best. And I always got the same one. And I almost, they were talking about selling him. And I almost was going to buy that horse, but I had nowhere to board a horse in San Diego. So, hey, Diamond Queen. I'm still working on my Christmas time one that I had started around Christmas. It's a Mermaid Cavern. Twas the night before. Sorry, I got off on a tangent there looking for places to go rent horses to go horseback riding. So yeah, Sherry, I was sharing it earlier and I missed it. Before I went live tonight, I was working on my new logo for my business, and I shared that. Let me pull it back up. There it is. That's my it's my new logo from my business. I've just got to get a few more things done. And I can open up a new chapter. I think that's the logo. It may change, but for now, I like that one. I had another one I liked that I designed online, and it doesn't let you download it for free. You actually have to pay like $15 a month in order to continue using it exclusively, and you can't download it at all for free without paying them at least $15 a month, or you can get the premium package that comes with the website, which I don't need that. I'll do my own website elsewhere. But yeah, I was like, that's kind of ridiculous, you know. You let me design this logo that I absolutely loved. I loved it better than I did this one. But then you want to make me pay to keep it. Like, that's ridiculous. And then I got to pay a monthly fee to just keep using it. That's no. So this one here, you know, it's all mine. Nobody else's. And I may be able to come up with something on my own better than that. I don't know yet. Yeah, well, this is a big risky step. I mean, I know it's a necessary service and people are gonna, you know, people want it. So it's not something that just it's for me, it's gonna be getting the customer base. That's gonna be the hard part. Of course I'll advertise, I'll have cards made up. Um, I know I've talked to a few of the students that I've done Uber for, and they said if I open a business that they will gladly, you know, use me. Um, so I mean, I've got that. Um, Several of my customers at work, like that I've done their house and stuff, we get to talking about it, and they said, well, when you get started, give me a card, give me a call, let me know you got your business open, I'll bring you a car. So I mean, I'm already getting the word out, and people are responding in kind to it. So um, I think it'll take off pretty well. And as I was saying earlier, I plan on doing something that nobody else does, and that's being on call for Uber and Lyft drivers. So if somebody pukes in their car at 10 o'clock, they don't have to wait till Monday to get it, get it cleaned up, and they don't have to worry about doing it themselves. They call Dave, $75 to get you right back out on the road. You know, I mean, that's a service that nobody else provides. And I could make money off of that. And that's kind of like a built-in customer base because I'm already a member of the Lyft and Uber drivers group on Facebook here. And there's literally hundreds of them in the Birmingham, Tuscaloosa area. And most of them come to Tuscaloosa during the school year and drive on, weekends. So uh, it's like a built-in customer base there. Of course, I'll still do Uber on the weekends and run the business through the week, and then be on call on the weekends you know, for Uber drivers. Hank, you know you're in the way, buddy. But you don't care, do you? Hmm. So yeah, that's definitely a new beginning. But it's not going to be anytime soon. I was telling everybody that it's not going to be anytime soon. I mean, I have almost all of the necessary tools and equipment. The only thing I really don't have right now is an extractor, but I don't really need that because my wet dry vac will do extraction too. Um, it just won't be like a hot water extractor that'll spray its own hot water and then suck it right back up. Um, a regular hot water extractor is, I mean, the lowest price one I could find anywhere was like $600, and for a decent one, you're going to pay over 1,000 for it. So I don't have that kind of money yet, so that'll wait until I get started. I just have to make do with what I got until then. That's just like a steam cleaner and a wet dry vac and all the chemicals that I've got and stuff. So, and I've got my pressure washer. I got my pressure washer, my wet dry vac, um, a rotary polisher, a dual action polisher, and most of the chemicals. But I think I'm going to try a different brand because while I like Chemical Guys that Walmart sells, and they have quite the lineup of chemicals, there's just too much, and it's not marketed towards the professional. It's marketed towards the do-it-yourselfer at home. And if I'm going into professional, I want professional grade stuff. And I found a supplier for that. I just got to get the money together little by little and buy a little of it at a time, and then find out what kind of deals they have for businesses to buy, in bulk. Like, I know they sell it by the gallon, but if you're a business and you're going to buy, multiple gallons of each one, will they give you a discount for being a business or whatever? So I've got to find that out from them. But their stuff looks like, and of course their stuff isn't just it's not just marketed to professionals. It's marketed to, do-it-yourselfers as well. But the how to properly use their chemicals, they actually have a whole YouTube channel of nothing but part of it is, just teaching you different tips and tricks for the hobbyist detailer, but it's stuff you can take over into the professional side as well. Plus, the guy who actually runs the YouTube channel has been in the detailing business for 40 years, and he actually has another channel that's just helping entrepreneurs who are trying to go professional with their detailing. So it's like an academy for, you know, people wanting to become professional detailers. So I've been like soaking in as much information from him as possible. Because it's a whole different world when you go from hobbyist to where you're just doing it for fun on the out, maybe a little extra cash here and there, to professionally as a business. It's quite the difference. Excuse me, Hank. No, you don't want any vape juice. Trust me. I promise you, you don't want any vape juice. Oops. Hank doodles. Hank doodle doo. Hank doodle doodle doo. Hank doodle doo. You gonna sit right there in my face now? Okay. All right. Oh, hop down. He's just gonna sit here in a chair and look at me now, like, Dad, why'd you make me get down? I was happy sitting there in front of you. See, I'm excited. I really am. Oh, check this out. I didn't know you can do this. This is cool. You can actually like I've got to get some touch up paint for my car. I've still got a lot of work to do on my own car. Um, there's a lot that I need to get done on mine. And that's why I haven't been live, you know, lately. Because Sunday being the only day I had to do anything, and I've got all of these little things that need to be done to detail my van out the way it needs to get done. And it's still not totally done, but it's done enough now that I could actually took a Sunday off from working on it. But normally I'm out there on Sundays until like 2 o'clock in the morning with work light, working in the van, trying to get this cleaned or that cleaned or this done or that done on it. But there still needs to be done. It's got a lot of like scratches and chips and bad spots in the paint that I need to fix. And so I've got to order the touch up paint and the kits to be able to fill in all the scratches and everything before I can actually polish it and put a ceramic coat on it. I've done some polishing on it, but it's going to have to be redone once I get all the touch up done. And now that it's summertime and I won't be having to go to Birmingham every Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, just I have to go Friday and Saturdays. Um, I'll have some extra time on my hands in the evenings after work to get it done. Oh, Diamond Queen. I'm working on "'Twas the Night Before" by the Mermaid Caverns, the same one I've been working on since like Christmas. It's one of the Mermaid Caverns Christmas paintings. I just had it on the desk since then. I'm not really even working on it right now. I haven't actually diamond painted anything since the last time I diamond painted in Alive, which was like a month ago. It's just been sitting here on the desk for the last month, gathering dust and things accumulating on top of it. I haven't diamond painted anything since I started doing Uber, really. Um, I think the first week after I started doing Uber, I actually diamond painted some on that Sunday live, and that was the last time. I mean, I got a good bit done on it already. I mean, almost a good bit, I guess. I mean, I've got this section here that's underneath the plastic or underneath the paper is partly done. But let me see if I can hold it out enough. Yeah, there we go. Move the mic out of the way. Got the bottom part done. Like now, all of these, you can kind of see them there, the reds, like over here, that red there, everything that's that color red is all ABs. And you can kind of see when I hold it up, it's got that like different color to it when it moves. Those are all ABs. All of these blues in here and some of these in here are ABs. You can kind of see the difference in them when I hold them up the right way. You can kind of catch the ones that are ABs. But all of these dark blues here are all ABs. Most of these here are AB as well. And then down here, this blue here on this corner is all mostly ABs there too. It's very sparkly painting. That's a square putting out that much sparkle. That's amazing. You know what? I can't even remember. Yes, I can remember the last diamond painting I bought. It was this one. I haven't even bought one in a while. I've got so many things that need to get done that I need to do, and diamond painting, building models, fixing, getting my car fixed up, doing Uber, going to my job, working on getting this business started. It's just too many things to do at one time, and I just have no time anymore to do anything. I'm gonna have me another toxic waste. Banana blueberry. Let's try the banana blueberry. It's the nuclear fusion toxic waste. Bought was last Saturday. I bought this one here before Christmas, and it came just in time for Christmas. In fact, I think I did my kit up while I was doing my Christmas premiere. I think my Christmas premiere was me kitting this up, or it was just starting to work on it. I can't remember which, but Yeah, it's been on my desk ever since. I haven't worked on anything else since then. Man, this stuff's hard to get out of the package. Mm. That is some really sour candy. Mm-mm-mm. I remember when I was going to get my dentures made, this set that I have now, and I was going to the dentist's office for them to take the molds and everything. And I used to have to go back like every other week to have another fitting done. And she had a chart up on the wall that talked about the really sour candies, because this is back when sour candies really started becoming a big thing and like everybody was eating them, or at least all the kids were. And it was a warning up there about the what sour candies do to your teeth, because the stuff that makes it really, really sour is what they call malic acid. And they also use citric acid. But they were talking about like they were comparing it to like the acidity of battery acid is like a certain number on the pH scale. And warheads, the most extreme sour warheads, have the exact same acidity level as battery acid. I haven't even looked at Diamond Art Club in forever. Let me go take a look. Diamond Art Club. You just click shop all. Oh, that's a nice one. Oh, Jurassic Night. I like that. That's a really cool one. And the Together Wolves is pretty. Oh, I love the Gethsemane picture. That is beautiful. Boy, Mandy Manzano's art has come a long way since back in the day. She's got a lot more like fill light painted in, you know? Instead of it just being like a straight up stained glass separated with black lines, it's now got a lot more like shading and stuff in it that it didn't have before. Her art has come a long way. Wow. Wilma Flintstone. Oh, they really get the elf picture. I like that. Oh my goodness! Oh man. The all cats do go to heaven. The cat looks like Hank. Huh. What was all that noise about, Oreo? Mm. Man, the sour candy gets you choking. Mm. Well, Diamond Queen, I can't say that the same thing because I just can't afford a lot of Diamond Art Club stuff because it's just, I mean, I've got a little bit of disposable income now, but that's expensive still. I mean, like I would definitely buy the All Cats Do Go to Heaven. That's a pretty picture, but $70. That's $70. I could buy 2 different gallons of different chemicals that I need. So I mean, that's kind of what just so many things. And I like right now, I'm still need to buy things for my van to get things going, get things looking good. I have, I don't know if I think I showed y'all one of the videos. It's under my community tab there of uh of my van with the lights on, but I don't think I ever showed it to you with the fog machine built in. Um, Let me find it. Maybe I can get the sound out of it. I don't know. Albums, camera, open camera. There it is. Yeah. All right. Let me. All right. We're gonna try to do this with the sound. Maybe you can hear it. Yeah, I put a smoke machine in the car. It shouldn't bother your asthma because it stays kind of on the floor. It doesn't like go up through the whole car or anything. I put it through a chiller so that it rides down on the floor. Um, and even then, it really shouldn't kick off your asthma because there's not enough of anything there to really do anything. Um, it's basically the same thing that's in a vape. Um, it's vegetable glycerin and distilled water. But I mean, it doesn't stay on all the time either. Because if it did, it would fill the whole car up so bad you couldn't see out of it. I kind of hit it for like a little 5 second burst, and it puts just enough across the floor to give you that haze across the floor. And then I shut it off. It's not. And there's no way in the world I could just let it run like it's normally supposed to. And that's the reason why it keeps breaking on me. I keep having to replace a resistor on the board because I'm not using it the way it's intended to be used. And as a result, it ends up overheating and burning a resistor up. So I may have to abandon the whole idea of having it in the car anyway. I bought two of them. I've got two of them right now that are sitting here broke, and I can fix one. The other one, I'm not a whole 100% sure on how it's gonna, whether it works or not. No, I don't. I don't put enough in there to make it like. I mean, by the time by the time it gets to where it's permeating up into the air, because like I said, I run it through a chiller, which then makes it dense and fall to the floor, and it stays on the floor. Once it gets up into the air where people would be breathing it, usually by then the ride is over because most of the rides here in town are like 6 minutes max, and I hit it like as soon as they get in the car and we start moving, and I give it that little 5 second burst. By the time we get where they're going, you're just able to start smelling it in the air, and I mean, a fog machine, if it doesn't have any kind of scent in it, has its own distinct like smell, and you can kind of smell it a little bit, but it's not like a haze that you can't, that it fills the air or anything. You're just catching the smell of it from it just kind of evaporating into the car. But the night I got it, oh my lord, it was so funny. The night I got the fog machine, I plugged it up here in the house to see how it worked, and I ran it through the chiller and it worked just fine. It just stayed on the floor and stayed on the floor, but it kept pumping out more and more and more because it's got a feature when you start it, it'll blow out vapor. It'll blow out fog for like 30 seconds, and then it'll stop and go through a reheat phase and then blow out for 30 seconds and stop and go through the reheat phase again and keep doing that. And I let it keep doing that. And Paul was here and he was back in the room that he stays in with the door shut, but there's a gap under the door about like that big. And it ended up filling up his room, my living room. You couldn't even see across my living room. Um, it filled up the entire house, just filled up the entire house with this thick white smoke. And I guess I needed to buy some, fog that doesn't last as long because this stuff was so long lasting that Paul and I left figuring, okay, we're going to let it clear out. We left and went out to eat and went and got our car wash and everything else. Came back home 2.5 hours later, and it was still so thick you could barely see to the kitchen from the front door. Aren't you on something for that? I mean, you should be on some kind of breathing treatment for that to keep that so that you can actually go out and enjoy life without it being a problem. What does the Uber map look like tonight? Let's take a look at the Uber map, Tao, shall we? Nothing. It is not busy in town. Oh, that's a report a map issue. There is a way in here that I can see. Oh, there we go. Live. Yeah, it's only $3 signs. See, it's got like, I don't know if you're able to see it. Yeah, there it is. That'll turn to $4 signs, and the little shaded area will turn red to let you know it's like really busy. Um, Hourly right now in Central Tuscaloosa, very low. Northport and Outer Tuscaloosa is a little higher, but now later on tonight it should get busier. Mondays, nah. Tuesdays, Wednesdays. Now Wednesdays it says it's actually really busy. Let's see, Thursday. Yeah, Thursday it's like really busy, and Friday it just stays constantly busy from like 7 o'clock on. And then Saturdays it's from about 2 o'clock in the afternoon on is always stays really busy. So if you go through the map there's Saturday. You can see how high up the lines are all the way across there for Central Tuscaloosa. And then you go to Fridays and Thursdays. But then Wednesday, see how it drops way off on Wednesday. And Tuesdays, it's actually mildly busier on Tuesdays because a lot of the sororities and fraternities have date parties those nights. Mondays is kind of slow. And then Sunday is kind of slow-ish. Sunday mornings are really busy, though. I've noticed that, like from 4 a.m. on. But that's because you got a lot of the kids that are out partying on Saturday night or at house parties and stuff, and they're all leaving between, like, the house party actually ends at like 2, but a lot of kids just stick around and hang out, and then they all want to leave and go back to their dorms. Plus, on a lot of Sunday mornings, you get a lot of rides to the airport. If you're out there logged in on Sunday morning, you're liable to get a ride from Tuscaloosa to Birmingham to go to the airport and drop somebody off, which that's why I normally try to log off before like 4 a.m. because if not, I don't want to get stuck after driving all night around town, get stuck driving all the way to Birmingham and back, at 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning. Oh, okay, I got you. Speaking of Morgan Wallen, I'm going to see him. Well, I'm not going to see him. I'm going to Nashville the first weekend of May to do Uber up there. Paul and I and two other drivers are going to go up Friday and Saturday and drive in Nashville because Morgan Wallen is playing there Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. He has 3 nights. I guess he just sold so many tickets that he had to add more nights. So, not going to see him, but I am going to Nashville that weekend. Oh, they ain't gonna put him in jail. They're gonna slap him with some probation or special. They always do that for these touring artists that get into trouble. They slap them with some kind of like probation or something. They never give them jail time. Unless it's like murder, If they murdered somebody, they probably will. But, I didn't even know he was in trouble. You know what? If that's the case, it sounds about right because he was in trouble back in 2022. He came to Tuscaloosa for a game day in 2020 during COVID and was making out with girls in the bar here. I remember I was doing Uber that day and picked these girls up from this bar. We have a bar in town called Innisfree. It's like an Irish pub and one of the more popular places all the students go. And these girls got in the car and like, oh my God, I can't believe we saw Morgan Wallen. And the other girl's like, I can't believe I made out with him. I was like, wow, okay, all right. All right. So it turned out that people videoed it and he was in there like kissing on these girls and stuff. And he TMZ got a hold of the footage and they reported him, no mask on at a bar in Tuscaloosa making out with students. And so Saturday Night Live canceled his performance the following Saturday. He was supposed to go to Saturday Night Live and perform, and they canceled him because, oh my God, he was seen in public without a mask. No, he didn't say he couldn't show up. Saturday Night Live canceled him that night. 3 felonies. Damn, what the hell did he do? He threw a chair off the roof. Oh, he almost hit some cops with it. He says, regarding my tour, there'll be no change. So that means he already probably knows that he's not going to get in much trouble for it. Yeah, he's probably not going to get in any trouble. They're probably going to end up plea bargaining it down to 3 misdemeanors. You'll have to pay a fine and do some community service or something. Yeah, I just read an article and they mentioned they were talking to a judge about, what he could face, and it could be 1 to 15 years per count if of the felonies. But like I said, they'll probably end up plea bargaining it down and he'll get off on some kind of misdemeanor with a fine and and some community service or something that I have to do. Yeah, I was just reading that article and the judge was talking about, well, he has a past track record with drunk and disorderly being arrested for that. And then back during the pandemic, he was seen kissing and hugging people in a bar without a mask on. Like that's a crime or something. I didn't think they could hold being seen in public without a mask as something to go in your criminal record to decide whether or not you're, you know, guilty of something now. Well, true, yeah, we would be, but we don't have we would be, but we don't have, you know, a multi-million dollar tour to continue doing where people have already bought tickets and all of that. So, and it's not like the artist refunds the money if they cancel a performance. It's just they wouldn't make any money for that stop. But it's not like the artist loses any money because that performance got canceled. It's the arena is the one that's losing the money and having to send it all back. And most of the time, I mean, maybe in a situation like that, they would refund the money, but most tickets have a thing on them that says if the event is canceled or whatever, you accept the risk by buying these tickets, you know. They don't actually have to refund the money for them. Yeah, I know. We live in a day and an age where you can accidentally say the wrong thing, and it doesn't even actually have to be the word. You can say something else that somebody finds offensive, and the next thing you know, you find yourself without a job. It's ridiculous. I actually had somebody try to cancel me one time for something I said on YouTube. Back when I first got started in YouTube, I actually had somebody emailed my boss to try to get me fired because of something I said on YouTube. But I went to the boss myself and I said, "Hey, if you're going through your emails and you find one from this person named this, you can ignore it. I'm going to tell you about it right now." And he was like, "What's that?" I said, "Well," I said, "I was doing a YouTube video the other day and talking about how, you know, I dislike having to get up every morning and go to work to a job where I'm working for somebody else and being told when I have to be there and when I'm allowed to go home. And I would much rather be able to work for myself one day and have my own business and run my own business and work for myself." And somebody took that the wrong way and got offended and said that I didn't deserve to have a job, and they emailed you to tell you that what I said. And he says, "I don't blame you for feeling that way. If I had the chance to start my own business, I would too." He says, I can't blame you for that." He said, "You think I like coming in here every day, being told I got to be here at 7 o'clock in the morning and got to leave at 5?" He said, "I don't like it either." He said, "I ain't going to hold it against you for saying that." I'm like, "I didn't think you would, Bill, but you know, somebody else thought you would." Yeah, I remember when all that happened. I mean, I've never really been a big country music fan, but you know, I remember hearing about all that. There's only like two Morgan Wallen songs I know. The only reason I know one of them is because it's played a lot on the EDM playlist that I listen to in the car when I'm doing Uber. Um, he did a song with Diplo, and that one is on a lot of the EDM playlists that I listen to. And then the only reason I know Last Night is because there's actually a video on YouTube that says if Morgan Wallen was black, and it's a black guy singing Last Night with changed lyrics, and it's hilarious. Hey, Michelle. Yeah, I don't know that song, Diamond Queen. Like I said, I don't know. I know two Morgan Wallen songs, and it's the only reason I really know them is because just I happen to run into them. I do like Heartless though. Heartless is a good song. That is an amazing song. The lyrics are awesome. What is Friday for you, Michelle? Your birthday. Happy birthday. What are you going to be like 21, 22? 42? No way. You're joining the ranks of us old folks. May the 4th. Might get to see George Strait. Cool. May 4th is I will be in Nashville that weekend. That's the weekend Morgan Wallen's playing. Um, I think it's May 4th. Yeah, May 2nd, 3rd, and 4th, he's doing shows. And I'm going to drive as soon as I get off work on Friday the 3rd. I'm going to drive to Nashville and drive that night. I should get there about the time the concert's ending. So I should be able to flip it on and start taking rides then. And then I'm going to drive the 3rd and then the night of the 4th for that show. And then I'm going to come home Sunday morning, drive home Sunday morning, I guess. Paul, I told him, I said, Paul, I don't even need a motel room. I don't know why you worry about booking a motel. I said, I can sleep in my car. I'll find a place to park and sleep in my car. And he's like, no, you're not going to do that, but we'll book a motel room. So I'm like, okay, we're going to book a motel room. I'm thinking Days Inn, Econo Lodge, something, cheap. Nope. Paul calls me the other night. He said, I booked that room. It's going to be $100 per person. I said, for the weekend? Or no, I told him, I said, only book it for one night because I only need one night. Just, I need to be able to go to sleep Friday night after I get done driving and everything. And then I'll drive Saturday. When I'm done driving Saturday, I'll just start heading back. It's only a 4-hour drive home. He's like, no, 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 you're not going to doing that. We did that at the beach and you didn't get all the way home. You slept in a rest area. I'm like, yeah, I slept in a rest area on the way home. Big deal. I mean, I do it all the time when I'm traveling. I don't use motels and stuff. I sleep in my car in a rest area. And he's like, no, 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 you're going to stay. If we're going, you're going to stay Sunday night too. And I'm like, I don't want to. So he got a hotel for 2 nights, and he said it's $100 a person, and there's 3 of us going. And I'm like, so that means you paid $150 a night for a hotel room. Why didn't you just pick Days Inn or the Econo Lodge or something? And then he called me the other night, and he was like, "Oh yeah, by the way, I meant to tell you, it's down to $75 per person because we got a 4th person going." And I'm like, "Oh, okay." But that's $150 a night room for 4 of us to share. And I mean, it's not like we're going to be staying there very long. It's like we're going to get done driving like Friday night. When we get done driving Friday night, it'll actually be Saturday morning at like 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. We're going to go back. We're going to get a little bit of sleep, and we're going to get back up on Saturday morning and probably go grab breakfast or something somewhere, find a place to get our car cleaned, and then we're going to be back out driving the rest of Saturday, like during the day and the evening and stuff, and all night. And then we're going to come back Sunday morning. We're going to get a Sunday morning and leave and come home. So it's like we're going to be in this hotel room for like a maximum of like maybe 8 hours total. $150 a night. We can just get an Econo Lodge. I even told him, I was like, dude, just get a room with 2 beds. You and other dude can share the bed, whatever. I'll take my sleeping pad and my sleeping bag that I use when I'm backpacking. I'll sleep on the floor. No, we're not going to be doing that. And I'm like, why not? It's me, the one that has to sleep like that. It's not you. Frankly, that's the way I'm comfortable. I sleep better when I'm out in the woods in my tent than I do in my own bed. Hell, when I'm here, I can't even. When was the last time I slept in my bed? I don't even remember the last time I slept in my bed because I sleep here in my chair. My gaming chair, man, it's got a footrest that comes out and it reclines all the way back, and I sleep right here in my gaming chair every night. No, it's because I've never known Paul to book a cheap place. He always books like he's trying to keep us from having to drive from the outskirts of town into downtown is what he's trying to do. So he's trying to book a hotel downtown. I would much rather stay out on the fringes of town in a Days Inn and have to drive into town to do Uber. I don't need to walk right out of my hotel, get in my car, and be able to flip the Uber app on and be right where I wanted to be. I don't need to do that. I would much rather spend, 30-minute drive into town to do my Uber and 30 minutes back out. If it means only spending $60 a night for a motel room. I mean, we did get a nice place when we went to the beach to do Uber down there. We did get a nice place. It was 3 of us, and we got a condo, and that was actually kind of nice having a condo but see, we weren't driving constantly while we were down there either. I mean, it was like we were only driving in the evenings. So during the day, we were hanging out at the condo, and we had access to a hose. We could wash our cars right there in the yard. I mean, it had a full kitchen, so we were able to cook. We had kitchen with pots, pans, all the appliances you can imagine. It was a nice little condo. And so, I mean, we stayed there for that week, and that was worth it. It was like a little mini vacate. It was like a working vacation. I mean, I went down to Pensacola to the Naval Air Museum and Naval Aviation Museum and spent the day down there one day. Ended up getting myself a couple of bottles of blackened whiskey. So I'm not even gonna tell you how much I spent to go see Metallica in 2018. But that was my third. Yeah, see, I got some good stuff. But that was my third time having Metallica tickets in my life, and the first time I was actually going to get to go to the show. And that almost didn't happen for the third time in my life. But it happened. I made sure of it. A week and a half prior to the show, my mom passed away in Maryland, and I had to drive from North Dakota to Maryland and handle business there and get back for the concert. But but yeah, so when I found out they were coming and I knew that the tickets were being released at lunchtime on payday, I was like, I will be online, logged in, ready to order the moment they go on sale, pre-sale for the fan club members. And I was, and I paid $500 for one of their experience packages, the Whiplash experience package, which was the second highest level. The highest level was Meet the Band. And I wanted to do that because I thought that would be cool as hell. But the problem is you get to meet the band while everybody else is filling up the arena. So you end up getting like, you know, good seats in the stands, which in this show, Metallica did in the round. So the stage was in the center of the arena and everybody was standing around it. And the people with the other experience packages got let into the arena early. So they were already up front on the rail when the doors opened to general public. But the people that got to meet the band went backstage during that time and got to meet the band and then were ushered to like premium seats in the seating section, which is pretty far back from the stage actually. So, you know, it was, you had to trade off. You get to meet the band, but you don't get to be right up front for the concert. But I got to be right up front for the concert, which was kind of really cool. And I did meet all but one of the band members. Didn't get to have a meet and greet and actually talk to them and spend time with them the way the Meet the Band experience package was, but I didn't pay $1,500 either. That one went down wrong. Woo. That one went down way wrong. Tastes good though. That really burned the throat. Oh. It got caught in my throat on the way down and it just started burning my throat. Did security for Morgan last time he was there. That's cool. I did I think I've told you I used to do that. I used to do event staff. When I was going to college in Memphis back in 90, I went to school from 96 to 98. And while I was in college, I did that as like a part-time job. We would call in on Tuesday and find out what all events were coming up the next week. And we'd tell them which ones we wanted to work. And they'd tell you what the call time was and everything for it. And you'd show up, and because I was already a full-time unarmed security officer, I had my guard card in Tennessee, which meant that I was able to work pit. So for all these big shows, I got to be right down in the front, right in front of the stage, which was really cool. I got to see Green Day. Who else? Bonnie Raitt. The Fabulous Thunderbirds. Eric Clapton. Tina Turner, Cyndi Lauper, Elton John. I was on stage for Ziggy Marley. Bob Marley's son and his band. Um, in fact, I even got to go backstage after the show. I was up on the stage for the show in the back of the stage, guarding the stairs. And then after the show, the road manager came to me and they pointed out this young couple that had a little boy. Um, it just seemed to happen that every time I worked that festival every year, they just happened to be at the same stage that I was at. And when I was down on the pit, and I got to know them like every year, they'd be, "Hey, it's good to see you again," type of thing. And we were up on stage when they called me up there to go guard the back. They were right down where I could see them from the back of the stage, and I was like waving to them. I was like, "Look at me, I'm up here," you know. and and so they the I guess one of the band members had seen me like waving to him or whatever, and the guy says, "Hey man, bring them back after the show. They, the band wants to meet them back after the show." I was like, "Okay." And so I went down and got him and said, "Hey, come on down." Escorted him around back over to Ziggy Marley and the band's trailer. And man, you open that door and the smoke just poured out of the place. It was like a scene out of a movie. And walked up in there and got to hang out with like Ziggy Marley and the band and this couple while they met everybody and everything. It was like really cool. I'm trying to remember who headlined the first. I cannot remember who headlined the first Memphis and May Music Festival that I worked at. I do remember during the day, one of the bands during the day was a new band that they weren't new, but they were the drummer and the bass player. It was just a three-person band, just like Stevie Ray and Double Trouble was. But the guys that were playing bass and drums were Stevie Ray's drummer and bassist. They were Double Trouble, and they gotten a new lead singer, and they were going around doing a blues show with the lead singer, lead guitarist. So basically, just picking up where Stevie left off in a way. No, no, the very first headliner from the first Memphis May that I went to was Kenny Wayne Shepherd, and he was still like 16 years old then. And I liked his show so much that every time he came to town, no matter where he was at, playing a casino, whatever, I made sure to get tickets. And I've seen Kenny Wayne Shepherd like 8 times in concert because he was just that good at like 16 years old. He was awesome. I haven't kept up with him through the years, but I do know that not long ago, not their last album, but their album in 2018, um, Five Finger Death Punch did one of Kenny Wayne Shepherd's songs from his first album. Um, they remade it into metal, and that was really good. I was glad to see that. All right, y'all. Guess what? It is 10:30. I know, a half hour past my normal sign off time, but I guess because I haven't been live past few nights, it's okay, or past few Sundays, it's okay. So I am gonna have to cut it short here because I do have a couple things I need to do to get ready for work tomorrow morning before I go to bed. So I'm gonna call it a night here. Glad I could finally come back and say hi to everybody. Hope to be able to do this again next week. I don't know about. I should be home in time after going to Nashville because I'm going to be leaving there Sunday morning, and it's only a 4-hour drive back. So I should be back in time on Sunday afternoon, um, and plenty of time to come and do live. So unless something changes, I should be live again next week. See, I've never been a big Maroon 5 fan. Maybe live they'd be all right. I don't know, but I just never was a big fan of theirs. I was Team Blake when it was, when I was watching The Voice. So I couldn't stand Adam. Yep. Y'all have a great night. Have a great week. And I will try to see y'all again next Sunday. I don't foresee anything needing to be done so much that, that I need to take Sunday off next week or that I need to work Sunday next week. So I will see y'all again next weekend. So till then, rock on, y'all. Roll Tide.